Maestro, it's a pleasure to have you here, and we appreciate the fact that you've taken time out of your busy schedule to join us here at JNR. Let's talk a little bit about the present recording. What is it like preparing an orchestra for a piece like the Tchaikovsky Fourth, which has been recorded many times? The orchestra members have probably played it a number of times. What approach do you take in bringing new light to a piece like that?
Well, it's a very personal approach. I mean, I've worked also my whole life on these pieces, on the battle horses, let's say, of the symphonic literature. And it's very exciting actually to get deeper and deeper and deeper into these pieces and into the sense of the pieces and the essence of the pieces. And this I try to convey to the orchestra and make the orchestra work out what my opinion is about the piece and how I live in the piece.
So you also work with a lot of younger musicians, and would you have a different approach with musicians who haven't played it as often, or do you bring...
No, I think I stay with my approach and my intentions and my inspiration the piece gives me, and transmit it to whoever plays, you know, if young or elder or more experienced or less.
Yes. Now, is this the first time that you've been down to this area since you conducted the memorial concert after 9/11?
Actually, yes. Yes, and that is, of course, unforgettable.
Yes. What was that experience like?
It was a rather terrible experience, I would say. The smoke was still coming out of the ground, and the smell of death. Really not very pleasant.
Right.
But to do this concert for the family survivors of the people who died in the towers was very moving.
Oh, absolutely. As someone who is a concert pianist and a conductor, when you conduct and you're not the soloist in a piano concerto, what is that like? Is it a more positive experience because you have a lot of wealth of experience to go back and forth with the soloist who's working with you?
That's for sure. And I mean, the piano playing in my background, I've got always my other life pianist, because I don't play anymore solo or chamber music or song recital like yesterday night. But what I learned from piano playing is mainly also the great piano literature and the great song literature. So I've worked very, very much with singers. The entire Schumann with Michel Iscar, for example. So I learned very much from this side and could have therefore another insight in the symphonic literature of these very composers I worked on the piano.
Are there any particular compositions that you wish you had recorded, or are there any compositions upcoming that you are excited about and will record?
Oh, I mean, there's very much. I mean, the symphonic literature, as you know, it's very big, and my heart for it is very big too. So, of course, there are many things which I would love to record. For example, Bruckner symphonies, or more Mahler symphonies, or other Tchaikovsky, or Beethoven, or music of our times also.
You often program 20th century composers and composers that are not often played on some of your concerts. In the music retail setting, we often have an ability to introduce our customers to new recordings and things that they might not all be too familiar with. If you were in our situation, would there be particular composers or pieces that you would say, yes, I would really like you to know this composer better, I think this individual's work is quite meaningful?
Of course. The composer scene, by the way, nowadays is bigger than it ever was, globally. And you have in every country at least 5 composers who are really worth to be thought of, and also who are potential winners for the next century. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know, who survived the day.
Who would you mention in particular?
Well, there's certainly Boulez in France and Tutelieu from the old ones, and Dalbaby from the younger ones, and Dussapin. And from these countries there's Orchestra Thomas, there's Peter Lieberson and others. In England there's Thomas Adès and Macmillan and Turnage, and in Germany there's Matthias Pincher, there's Arthur Reimann, there are many more. And for me these are potential survivors for the future.
From a personal perspective, when you take time off and relax a little bit, I know your schedule is very hectic, are there any types of music or anything that you listen to for relaxation or just personal enjoyment, or are you normally studying for an upcoming engagement?
That's the latter one.
The latter one?
Otherwise, I don't listen too much to music because there's so much music going on daily, and it turns in my head in the night. So I better read a book.
Have there been any performances or experiences in your musical life that you feel have been extremely special, sort of one-in-a-lifetime types of opportunities that you'd like to tell our fans about?
Well, there was, when I was a child, certainly one which marked my life and which actually got me into conducting, although I didn't begin it with age 11. But it was Furtwängler, and I saw him several times. And when I was 11, 12, 13 years on back. And there was an enormous, every concert of him was an enormous experience. Similarly, impressive I found performances by Bernstein.
What in particular was it about him?
Well, I mean, the freshness, the spontaneity, also the absolute personal view of a score, like a Beethoven 9s, for example, or the Tchaikovsky 6, Schumann 2. These are performances I never forget. And they are very, very, very personal, and they are not reproducible, and they are not. They are the one performance, you know.
Is there a particular composition whose view you espouse that has changed the most over the period of time after numerous performances?
I think it is also, with me, the case with the Beethoven symphonies in itself, the nine symphonies. We perform them differently today. It was on them, even with the great conductors like Glenn, there was a bit of dust on them. And now other colleagues of mine and myself also, we try to put the dust away and have them clear and clean and as strident and as relevant as they are.
Excellent. Well, Maestro, it has been a pleasure and an honor to speak with you today, and we appreciate again your coming down to visit us here at JNR. And we really wish you the best of luck on a very, very busy schedule.
Thank you
again.
very much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.